Okay, we are back. This is the International Wealth Builder Show with your host, Dr. Sharon Barnes. Today, talking with Bill Cavanaugh from the USModular company, which specializes in doing modular construction for accessory dwelling units, small homes, multi-generational properties, as well as commercial. And so we have an expert here with the wealth of knowledge. We're going to ask a couple of questions from our clients that regarding modular and see if Bill can give us some suggestions on how we deal with that. The first one, we have some cities that are requiring that the accessory dwelling unit match the main house.
Sure.
And in a lot of cases, we have stucco homes. Sometimes we have tile or shingle roofs. Sometimes we have the clay lifestyle roofs. Can we adapt the modular construction on an ADU to match those type of sidings?
Yeah, sure. We've run into this half a dozen times in the last year where the city requires that the architectural style of the home matches the ADU. And that's kind of a loose term, the architectural style. We have added stucco. You know, we can build a home what we call stucco ready. So you don't do stucco in the factory, with stucco on site. If they require a tile roof, we could put a tile roof on site. The architectural style itself, most homes here are fairly simple. You know, it's a roof, a lot of composition shingle roofs. The product that we clad our homes with is typically a Cemplank hardy board product. It's made with cement board. So that matches a lot of the styles that we have. A lot of a lot of craftsman-y style homes here. And a lot of homes have mixed media for their homes. They might have some horizontal lap siding. They might have some stucco. So we can work with the factories to create whatever the city's going to require. You know, a lot of times we don't just give in right away to the city by saying, no, you have to match 100%. Well, because if you're going to have to add stucco, that's an added cost a lot of people don't want to bear. So if we match the color, if it's a Cemplank siding, if we put some horizontal lap that matches the front and the back, for the most part, that has satisfied the cities because the homes don't look completely different.
Right.
So we've been able to get that. But, I mean, we can match whatever we need to, stucco, tile roofs, the style.
I went by the apartment complex you have here in Redlands, and to my eyeballs, it looks like stucco.
Yeah. Well, that is stucco.
Okay.
Yeah, it was stucco
Okay.
and a tile roof, and that was all done on site.
Okay.
So depending, again, we build it and we complete the project. It doesn't mean it has to be 100% built in the factory. In that Lagonia project, I would say 50% of the project was built in the factory.
Okay.
And then the balance was built on site. But the 50% we built in the factory still made it faster, still made it more affordable because you're on production lines, so you're duplicating a process. So you're putting in 87 bathrooms and you're putting in 87 kitchens, and so it's all there on a production line versus schlepping up 87 kitchen cabinets up to the third floor. I mean, there's just time associated with that.
Exactly.
So it's just a faster process, more efficient process. And one of the things someone asked, because sometimes people talk about factory housing or factory built housing as a lower quality type of housing. And I heard a story once, and I've used it over time. And they asked the story of a car, and someone said, I'm going to give you a brand new Ford Explorer to take your two kids to school in. A Ford Explorer A, I'm going to buy all the parts from the local supplier. I'm going to bring them into your backyard. I'm going to hire 12 independent contractors that are mechanics. And I'm going to give them a manual and have them put your car together. Or Ford Explorer B is built in the production line by a team that works together every day under a roof in a controlled climate environment. Which car do you want you to drive your kids to school? It's like, well, I want the factory car because it's a better built car. It's like, well, how do you want me to build your house? Well, obviously you want me to build your house in a factory because it's just a better built house because we have different technologies. We have teams that work together. It's in a controlled environment. It's just a better product.
That's a great story.
Yeah. So
It
that's
really is a good
So I
visual.
think the stigma of factory built housing is not warranted. They're quality products. They're going to last as long as any stick built home. Same materials, same products, same interior finishes. So we're very proud of the work we do, and we feel we bring people a good product at a good price. and that's why I think we have had some success, is because when you compare it to site-built, our numbers are just, they're significant enough where people say, I need to take a look at this. And then again, it's
Exactly.
personal choice, because I don't have, with factory-built housing, there's certain things I can't do as far as architectural styles. If you want a real modern style home or something that's a little off the beaten path, it's probably better to site-built that. But if it's a standard home, I mean, then I think factory-built housing is more within the realm that people should take a look at.
Yeah, and I think that it will help them meet their goals, especially if they're looking for additional income or housing for parents. We have a
Yeah.
lot of people that's trying to house parents,
Yeah.
so it gives them a viable alternative that they can get relatively fast, and so
Sure.
I think that's very important. So another area concern has been access to lots where they need to. We mentioned earlier about modular. If you can't just drive it on the lot, that you can use a crane. But in some cases, either options don't seem to work. Do you have any other alternatives to accessing
Well,
the property?
it's funny. I was up in a kind of a hill up in Orange County, and as I'm walking up to this project, I said, "There's no way. There's no way I can get this project." So I'm there. I hike up the hill, get to this property site, and the guy says, "I said, well, it's nice, beautiful view, but how are we getting up here?" He says, "Well, I saw a picture of a helicopter bringing a modular home." I said, I have to leave. We can't do this. It doesn't make any economic sense." But one of the benefits when Sharon does her site assessment and looks at the property, it really, if there's any question, how are we getting this home in the backyard, you really have to lay eyeballs on it. We have to look at it and see, do I have access to this backyard can I get it in with either a remote dozer that we can get into a backyard, or can I use a crane to get it in the backyard? There are instances where I can't. It might be power lines, it might be trees, it might be buildings, but I would, 90+% of the time we could get a house into a backyard.
Okay, that's great to know. Now, Bill, I know I'm so excited about modular, and we have a lot of clients who still like to touch and feel. Your website is great, USModularInc.com, but do you have any locations or areas that we can actually go out and tour models of the products that you've talked about today?
Sure, we have our operations center, our sales office out in Calamasa.
Okay.
We have 2 models on site. We have a park model, a tiny home, and we have an ADU. I think it's about 800 square foot there. It's nice for people to touch and feel and see the amenities. And then from that point on, we could look at a lot of times as we build projects, we will send out newsletters and invite people to come watch us work. Look at the project. Look how we crane it in site. Look how we roll it in site. And once we get it on site, maybe 2 weeks later, we'll invite those same people back where they can walk into the home and touch and feel and see how it feels on the lot. But we try to give people as much access as possible.
That sounds great. And you're averaging about one installation a month right now, you said?
We are right now. We're doing between 3 and 5 a month.
Okay. Well, I would suggest that you connect with Bill with US Modular, and you can also follow me, Dr. Sharon Barnes, ADU Advantage, on social media, and we will let you know where the installations are. You will get an opportunity to come out and meet us in person and actually see the product and see whether it fits your backyard. So if you're ready to get started and interested in modular, I think that US Modular is definitely a resource and a team that you want to consider. Bill, is any other information that you think is important that we know for the next steps?
Well, I think the next step would be calling Sharon. I think because you have such a broad and wealth of knowledge on the whole process, and prefabricated might not be for everybody. You have
Exactly.
you'd be able to guide your clients to the appropriate product that fits the yard, the budget, and their lifestyle needs. And if it's prefabricated, we'd love to help them. If you have other site builders that you can direct them to, and let people compare. I'm never going to try to sell anybody anything that doesn't meet their needs, so you can help them, guide them, and say, here's what prefabricated can offer you, and compare that to a site built, and then let the client make the decision.
Exactly. And as we mentioned earlier, accessory dwelling units can be garage conversions, which modular doesn't really meet that criteria. We can do ground up construction, detached or attached. And so, yes, if you reach out to me, Dr. Sharon Barnes, the number that you can reach me at is 909-708-5263. That's 909-708-5263. And also follow us on social media, Dr. Sharon Barnes Realestate.com or ADU Advantage on Facebook and LinkedIn. Book a call with me. Let's see what type of ADU you can put on your property, and I can help you guide you to the right resources, help you put together the right team, and make it a reality. So, um, with the accessory dwelling units, like I said, the laws are evolving. We're here at the end of the year in December. We have new laws coming in effect in January that's going to again evolve in this industry. We have more opportunities for investors. We're going to have more opportunities for homeowners to add more units. Bill, do you see anything coming on the horizon that you would like to mention?
I think this, the state does want ADUs, so it's not going away. It's only going to get easier and faster to build, and hopefully the cities adopt state laws and follow their lead, and we can get out there and help people get more housing.
Exactly, and I think the $40,000 grant that they had for accessory dwelling units was a success, especially in the sense of galvanizing the community to show their interest in accessory dwelling units. I understand there's over 5,000 people on the waiting list. We're hoping that our leaders reallocate that money so that accessory dwelling units can be built and help families and help our housing shortage here, because we know we have the homeless situation, and we really need to have every hand on deck to increase our inventory and make affordable housing available. So thank you again, Bill, for being here, and you can reach Bill and see more about US Modular at usmodularinc.com. And again, Sharon Barnes, 909-708-5263. And find me on social media, ADU Advantage, Dr. Sharon Barnes, realestate.com. Have a great holiday season, and we'll see you in January to kick off a very prosperous 2023. See you next year.